Number one.
There we go. Come over here and talk. Come here.
It's bad. It's bad.
That's it.
Because we got to have a shared reality.
Wait. We got to get your feeling on Trump. Hold on 1 second. I've got to see the back. Flip this around. Uh-oh, we've got the, look at that. Look at that. Okay, so tell us, you're a Trump supporter, right? You are? Okay, tell us why you love Trump. I'm Trey Smith of God in a Nutshell, and one of the most common things that has rested on my heart and that gets asked in repeated emails is, are there any prophecies about the midterms?
Why is God doing this? For God said, I am dissatisfied with what emerges from both parties.
What you're looking at behind me, we were actually there. This is footage from Springfield, Missouri. And before the answer to the question, are there prophecies about the midterms? You better believe it, baby.
They will shout, impeach, impeach, they say. But no.
But more than that, before we get into that, I'd just like to look at the surface level value, what's going on here. Just like in the election, you're in an unusual time period. Unusual time period.
Pussy grabber.
Okay, that's the lady with the head on the stick. Now, tell us, okay, so walk me through it. What is your feeling about Trump? You're going to be voting for, in the midterms, I'm assuming you're going all Republican. So walk me through it.
I'm confused.
I can see that clearly. What I'm stating here. And all of your news medias, all of your big medias, and all of your big tech companies are pushing hard. Trump's gonna lose. Canned laughter from here to Timbuktu on all of your late night shows. It's not even Jon Stewart anymore. It used to be funny. One of this man, Donald Trump's Twitter feeds is more entertaining than all of their late night canned laughter shows combined that are beating into your head.
No matter how hard Trump tries. And this morning he added a new wrinkle, tweeting, as has been stated by numerous legal scholars.
Noah is making his mark, tackling the topic of race, taking aim at President-elect Trump.
In Donald Trump's America, everyone is speculating as to who should be the most afraid. Black people, Latinos, the English language.
Because I have just received today probably the most wonderful news I have ever heard in my life. The leader of the free world just spoke out against foul murders in South Africa, as well as expropriation without compensation. Now let me read you his tweet. I have asked Secretary of State, Secretary Pompeo, to closely study the South African land and farm seizures and expropriations and large-scale killings of farmers.
Thank you for being on the show.
It is great to see you.
Tonight, Barack Obama made his final appearance on The Daily Show as president, discussing the election of Donald Trump.
Obama began his remarks by thanking South African President Cyril Ramaphosa for, quote, inspiring new hope in this great country. Now, if you've been following what's going on in South Africa, you might be shocked by that, because it turns out Ramaphosa recently declared that he will change the South African Constitution, and he'll do it for the explicit purpose of persecuting a racial minority, seizing their land without compensation, not because they've committed a specific crime, but because they are the wrong color.
But now we turn to racial tensions in America, and one man who seems uniquely poised to take the issues head on. Growing up biracial in segregated South Africa only seemed to sharpen Trevor Noah's sense of humor.
Many South Africans have already been murdered in race killings. Many more are fleeing the country for their lives. It's not covered here, but it's covered in the rest of the world, and it's real. Obama knew all this. He described it as, quote, inspiring.
So this is where my dad died. He was killed. Okay. I know, for what, you know. For what? He was a good man. He was an awesome man. And to shoot somebody 6 times, execution style. Gotta take a breather, please.
You cannot sit back and wait for a savior. You can't opt out because you don't feel sufficiently inspired by this or that particular candidate. This is not a rock concert. This is not Coachella. We don't need a messiah.
But he shall not come in the time of President Obama. They shall come when this new one arises, my David, that I have set aside for this nation.
this line goes around the building basically twice. And this is the line to get into the Trump rally. And I want you to notice as I point over this line, you got white people, they'll say, well, Trump's a racist, then why are there black people? There are so many Spanish people that are in this line across the way from me over here. There's some black people right there. It's all sorts of people. And I point that out for this cause. I point that out for this single cause that per capita in a place like Springfield, it's, there's a lot of people of color that are from all over the globe that are right in that line over there.
Noah's uniquely suited to talk about racism, growing up biracial in apartheid South Africa. He was forced to navigate the dangerous worlds between black and white, but he says he learned that communicating with those of the opposite view is crucial to success.
And the killings continue. Graham takes us to his closest neighbor, 15 minutes by road. Her cousin was just killed during a burglary, a horrifying event for this elderly woman whose husband was killed in similar circumstances.
And then just shoot somebody in cold blood from behind like that.
A respected man, David Green resembles nothing of the white racist farmer stereotype. His murder, however, does match the national statistics. 2 farmers are murdered every week in South Africa.
Do you think Donald Trump is racist?
I do.
You do?
And I'll tell you why. It's tough to say that somebody is not racist when they're doing all the racist things.
Now let me read you his tweet. I have asked Secretary of State, Secretary Pompeo, to closely study the South African land and farm seizures and expropriations and large-scale killings of farmers. South African government is now seizing land from white farmers.
Women for Trump. Why? Women for Trump.
I don't really want to be in an interview.
Well, go ahead, Sheila.
You're in it now.
All right.
Because women has a say.
Because women has a say.
Yeah, Trump tells it like it is, and he lets women have their own speak of mind. They can say what they want. He lets them do it. He puts women first.
For example, one person who's sticking by him is Kanye West. Now, he's been having a love fest online, posting a photo in a Make America Great Again cap and tweeting that the mob can, not that mob, but I guess the collective mob can't make me not love him. We're both dragon energy. He's my brother. And
women like Trump?
Oh, I love Trump.
Why do women like Trump?
Well, I think that it's really cool that he has Kellyanne Conway. She's the first lady. Oh, you're really close. She's the first lady to win a presidency. So, it's really cool. I love him.
You support Trump?
Yes, I do.
You do? Why?
Because I'm making money. That's why I support.
Good point. You think the economy is better with Trump?
It's halfway. In the middle. It's in the middle. Yeah. Because we got a lot of people that's trying to get to the, the upper scale. You feel me? Tax brackets are different for us. So, we just trying to get in where everybody else fit in.
Are you following the rallies?
Yes, I just came back from Montana.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. So does the stuff do okay?
Yes, it does great.
What's the best shirt?
CNN.
Pissing on this. I want to buy, how much are they?
20.
$20. And by the way, you don't need one prophecy to understand this. At these rallies, some of which are turning away, this one that we attended, the line went around the stadium twice and then off into the university. I would estimate that line was over a mile long. And it was a wide line. And all those people got turned away. There wasn't enough room in the stadiums. The people that were protesting, we got some footage of that. We got little transsexuals, and we got some. We put a lot of work into their outfits. Well, fair enough. You don't know. Well,
I'm still deciding.
Well, you know what? That's a great answer, and I like your jacket. That looked like that took a lot of work. You were thinking about Trump a lot putting that jacket together. I'll tell you that.
What your skirt says. What does your skirt say?
What does this skirt say? Oh wow! Look at that.
If it's my choice, then yeah.
Okay. Well, make a choice for Republican. I know the lords of crowds over there. I know it's daunting, but they will love you over there, even with that jacket on. Okay, so I tell you, this is what I was hearing from women. That this is the first time we've got a president in office that actually likes women. But you disagree with that statement.
Walk me through it. I mean, that obviously you seem impacted. Why don't you like Trump?
Because I'm a woman.
Okay. Why seems like most women in America like him. Why have you got his head on a stick?
Some couple little old ladies with Trump's head on a stick. But I'll tell you why, just on the surface level, is because Democrats are showing up. This is in fact what I was hearing even from, and I'm allowed to tell you this, from my friends Gavin and Millie over at InfoWars, when they shut down InfoWars and everything. Well, I got friends over there at InfoWars. Some of the top footage that came of Trump rallies, remember during the election, when you had Hillary Clinton, and you had little old, this lady here. This lady, I got a head I can put on a stick too. It's kind of evil looking, isn't it? And it's a dirty one too. This mask has been outside. It's a dirty Hillary is what it is.
Why don't you like, why do you feel like another woman? Like if you were telling another woman, this guy's a real scumbag, he's a creeper.
Because he's a pussy-grabbing man.
The reason Democrats are showing up en masse to vote for Donald Trump, and all the people that they were saying, oh, no, he's a racist guy, yeah, right. I'll tell you, the lines are full of black people. They are full of Spanish people from here to Timbuktu. And here's why. Because the last presidents that we've had, last cutesy little presidents, even Obama, who was supposed to be wonderful for black people, the fact was, and he might be great at giving a statesman-like speech, a lot of these people are waking up. That's what I was hearing in line after line after line, because it's not even that, maybe that guy maybe he intended well, but just didn't get anything done. And I'll tell you what people are voting on, and it ain't that they're in love with Republicans. Republicans aren't thrilling either. I'm not sitting here telling you that. In fact, some of my best friends are Democrats, and it's an insult. What's happening right now with the canned laughter on the comedy shows, the canned laughter, ha 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 ha. Oh, we found the rich guy like the pretty girl. You've got to be out of your mind. You got to be absolutely, that's humiliating. That's the fact that they're even sitting, oh, Kevin, oh, look, we found a sexual accuser from, I think, his childhood. Right, well, he's running for, this was 25 years ago. Oh, and can't find even one witness that says that the two of them were even together at one point in the same room somewhere. But we can find evidence that a judge who was the friend's mom, who was yada, 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 found unfavorably for them in a case.
It is a 200,000 strong group of motorcyclists say they will create a barrier to block off protesters if they get too out of hand during the ceremony. Let's bring in Bikers for Trump founder Chris Cox, who joins me now. Chris, basically you say bikers, all of them are patriots. How is it going to work? How are you going to wall off the protesters?
Well, we certainly have every confidence in the Metropolitan Police Department, the Park Police, and the Capitol Police. As you recall, back in Cleveland, there was a lot of polarizing of what might happen. And law enforcement learned from the mistakes that they made in Cleveland, in Arizona and Chicago. So I'm anticipating a peaceful transition of power here.
So it's Barack Obama was the one that made the economy skyrocket?
Makes America great.
Yes? Why do you have a shirt on that says F Trump?
Fuck Trump?
Yeah.
You don't like it? You can grab me by the pussy.
But why do you feel that way? Why do you want people to grab you in that way?
If you love Trump so much, let him grab you by the pussy.
Okay,
He's disgusting.
Okay.
He's not even a human being. He's a human piece of excrement.
Well,
He's
so over here, if we look over here, there's lines of people waiting to get off.
Lady.
So what?
Okay, so I appreciate the vernacular.
But you're white.
What?
You're white.
Thanks for assuming.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you weren't, would that be a problem? I mean, what? I mean, so your immediate reply as somebody with an F Trump shirt is that the white people are bad.
I never said that.
Well, okay, so explain. Can you explain?
Her reasoning basically behind it is that Trump has a lot of white supporters.
Well, there's a lot of people that are white. There are also a lot of black supporters.
Not nearly as many black supporters.
Kanye West, I think, is one of them.
Kanye West is an idiot as well.
Well, okay, but I'm not. Okay, so just if they follow Trump, they're an idiot. Now, it's not just like you said a minute ago. That
I said Kanye West is an idiot.
Okay, but he's black though.
From sea to shining sea, and what Spanish people are voting on, they're voting on themselves this time in those midterms. There's the Democrats, same Democrats, and you don't have Hillary in there that do fraud. Look, this guy here that's on the screens, he had to overcome this dirty lady here. She really is. It's a dirty mask. Dirty. It's an evil, dirty looking mask because that's who she is. That's who the people that funded her are. People that are her friends. She ought to be in prison, in truth. No, those people out there that their eyes are waking up from sea to shining sea and they're voting. They'll call it wrong, call it whatever. They're not voting for crooked politicians. Because this guy here seems to make those people angry, and everybody sees that. No, they're voting for their own wallets this time, not the dirty politicians' wallets. And you got a guy there, I tell you this, you got not only do the people not care about, oh, I think that we found a rich guy like that pretty girl. The women that are in line in mass yelling, women for Trump, women for Trump. And by the way, Million Woman March, boy, that's a funny title. There weren't a million women, not even close. That's humorous. You can title anything you want. You want to see 1 million women marching? That's all these Trump rallies. We were walking around the line, and they're all yelling women for. Maybe they just like the fact first time you've got a guy in office in a long time that actually likes women. Say for Bill Clinton, that hey guys, I'm just half man. I just wanted to smoke some pot in the White House. People are done with games and nonsense. And Bush, he can't find his way through the golf course. And Obama, he can give you a great speech. But why, I tell you what.
Go Trump!
You go ask the black people out there that are in line, their wallets. Look, these things right here, and you call it greedy, you call it whatever. God is the author of prosper in this place. And the prophecies that put this man in there, yes, the Lord cares about your prosper. Now that comes with a price as well. But you've also, here's another prophetic thing. You've got a guy back here that's blessing Israel. You bless Israel, you will get the blessing of God. And as opposed to cursing this president, you begin to pray for this president. You pray for these midterms. God is going to do some unusual things. He's heard all the canned laughter he cares to hear. And the big tech guys, I respect you. But your numbers were falling. Just, I think Facebook, $132 billion or somewhere thereabouts just a month back. And Google and YouTube, it didn't fare all that well. And this comes in the same time frame where we're pulling people's channels. And to be frank, you guys, you big tech guys, you forgot your own base. The very people that put you there. Now, how is that a winning outcome by any stretch? You forgot the very people, even by pulling the plug on voices that maybe you don't like.
Okay, let's ask this. This just happened this week. Facebook, Spotify, Apple, YouTube, right? They all banned the InfoWars channel. So let me ask you, do you think that's a good thing or that's a bad thing?
No, I think it's a catastrophe.
Okay. So what's your solution? Do you believe Facebook or YouTube should be forced to provide a platform for speech that they detest?
No, I don't think they should be forced. I think that they've bit off far more than they'll be able to chew.
Well, should Trump win? Well, that probably puts you a step closer to being a public utility, which I would be terrified of. I would frankly be, I'm scared for you, and I'm sitting over here.
How so?
Because now they've decided that they're ethically responsible for the content on their platforms. So good luck with that decision, because they have an awful lot of content, and drawing the lines is going to be extraordinarily difficult thing to do. So basically, the way that these companies were set up to begin with is that people could post content and then other people could watch it and basically decide by their viewing. They could value the content by their proclivity to view. Mm. And now they've decided, as a consequence of this decision, that they're going to be in the business of arbitrarily determining what should and shouldn't be presented for public viewing. And they'll never run out of decisions to make. You know, lots of people who were watching Alex Jones didn't agree with him. They were just keeping an eye on him.
And you're pulling guys like me, and I'm terrified, man. I'd be sweating it if I were over there. Hey, you know what? You need to begin praying for your own wallets too, you guys, because your numbers are falling like rocks. Your numbers are falling like rocks. And it's not because of Donald Trump. No. It's because in your fight for frivolous university, frat boy crap, you forgot the very people that put you there. The bottom line, you got big, fat, and greedy. You forgot about your own base. And you assume that they're going to be there for you. I'm telling you, I've been at these rallies, boys. They are not.
Buddy.
Hey, man, I got 20 right here.
Oh, you got 20? Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
So I get a Trump.
Do you do videos on YouTube?
Huh? Yeah.
Do you do Nephilim videos?
Yeah.
It's the same guy I knew it was you. That's a good one, man.
It's good to meet you,
like
man.
Your work.
It's good to meet you, man. You're supporting Trump?
Yes, I am.
Well, tell us about Trump, man.
You know what? I think it's the only choice left. It's it was. I was a libertarian, not anymore because I feel like communists have infiltrated the party. So now I'm supporting Trump. It's not everything's not perfect, but it's at this point in day and age, I think it's either this or the alternative was horrible. And I like a lot of what he does. I do believe in America, and I hope we can make it great again.
A lot of people don't know. My family wrote a lot of the software that takes stuff in and out of, I don't know, security, military facilities. I even own the copyrights on some of it today. A lot of people don't know that. We got some stuff we're gonna hand to you. I'm thinking about handing it to you for free. It'll make sure they're not looking at your stuff. In fact, it'll make you a pixel and a great big middle finger pointing straight at big tech. And the CIA and the NSA and all these other creepers, because only creeps creep through other people's trash, go through their garbage and read their emails. Only dirty people do that. Only people like Hillary can't even keep a hold of their own crap, so you don't even need the NSA. She'll release her dirty emails in a heartbeat because that's how stupid they are. If God calls this man here his David, and trust me, David was with a few girls. And if you thought David was with a few girls, oh, wait till you talk to Solomon. I tell you, both of these boys, you get up the news articles that they're running with their canned laughter stuff, boy, he's tell that joke to David and Solomon when you get to heaven. I think we found a rich guy with a girl. Oh, you gotta be, it's humiliating.
Hey man, thank you for the shirt, dude. That is an awesome.
I just was like, that's the dude from the Nephilim videos.
Hey, and thank you for supporting Trump, man.
Thank you for supporting us.
Hey, God bless you, man.
I'm a
God
nerd.
bless you, man.
I love
so check it out. I got, look, I got this shirt here today, and that's Trump right there, peeing on CNN.
Begin to pray the Lord for prosper over your things. He's the author of prosper in this place. And speaking of that, indeed I do. I was sitting here right in this chair working on one of the most powerful videos that I've worked on. And the Lord showed to me. I took a break. It's about, there are angels appearing worldwide. And some of these are black angels, African-American angels. Oh yeah, African-American angels. Yes, sir. And you know what? They're voting Trump too. Spanish angels. You know what? The Lord doesn't see color of skin. The big media people who have been trying to play you against each other, I tell you what they're scared of is that you'll have any power, and power comes in your pocketbook, and now they've got that. They'd like to take that from you. Let me ask you this, the Democrat Party helping anybody? Here's the other truth. The reason the Republicans are so terrified of this guy back here and his choices that he's putting in, boy, you go out there and vote if you're a Democrat. I support you in voting, and if you're a Republican, you go vote, because it ain't about that. This is about you taking the power back, and you know that. But as it turns out, I was sitting here in this very chair working on what I believe to be the most powerful video the Lord has ever allowed me to make. And I said, Lord, would you show me something about these midterms? Would you show me something? And then I clicked on just one spot. And this was out of the same tape, that part of which I used for the Trump prophecy thing. And then coincidentally it played this. Right when I clicked and asked the Lord for it, it played, boom, this.
And then there is a nation, he showed me and took me, itching for a new kind of war with America. They will shout, impeach, impeach, they say. But no. This nation shall come very subtly. But he shall not come in the time of President Obama. They shall come when this new one arises, my David, that I have set aside for this nation. A man of prayer, a man of choice words, not a man who is verbose, who has verbosity, who speaks too much. They will even say, this man is not speaking enough. But God says, I have set him aside. They will shout, impeach, impeach. But this shall not happen. And then God says, highly embarrassing moments when another Snowden arises. And people will become very afraid. They'll say, we have no protection. And then God says, am I impressed with your weapons of war? Am I impressed with the strength of your men's legs? Ha! I have said I will bring this nation to its knees. And God said, you have been humbled. and yet some more, and then you shall hear the sounds of great victory. For where are the people gathered? Where are my people gathered? Where is the sound of unity from my people? I want just this crowd here and all the thousands watching all over the world, just do me a favor, just for about 30 seconds, raise up your voice and shout, come on!
He wants you to prod, even the bad people. And we're all bad people. But he's going to go ahead and give it to us. He put a guy there to do that. And he put a guy there that makes the evil people mad. And God likes watching that. God likes watching that. Yeah, the guys, I'd be careful if I were on the other end of the fence screwing with him too hard, because I think who you're really fighting with is God. And on top of that, you're fighting with the guy that God put in there to get his career started. One of his attorneys represented all 5 of the major crime families in New York. To me, that's just smart business. But maybe it prepared him for the day that he would have to deal with evil folks like this right here. Because you think there's a lot of people that walk away from this lady here still breathing after they disagree. I think it was a preparation for exactly these hours. A lot of Democrats don't know that he's the first president in history to turn down the presidential salary. He only takes $1 each year, as I understand it. Lord Jesus, I just say a prayer right now over you and your families. I don't care, Republican, Democrat, white, black, everybody, they all watch my videos, man. They watch, look, as the Lord speaks through these. And the next thing that's about to come, oh my gosh, I've never made anything like there are angels showing up worldwide. And they are of every race, creed, and color. You are in the final hours. You are in the hours all the prophets looked at and saw. You are in the final Trump, baby. Now, that doesn't mean it happens today. I view that like a setting of a stage, okay? You can state that. But to have a setting of a stage, you can't be, to be on the bleachers and stuff, you can't be worried about where you're going to eat next. The Lord wants you to not only understand the ending, that's part of why Trump's there. That's part of why he's even going to prosper the bad people. Even if he's got to drag them kicking and screaming to that prosper, because they're so caught up in the crap. Lord Jesus, I just pray a blessing over this nation right here, this United States. I pray a blessing over Israel. I pray a blessing over our president, Donald Trump. And I pray a blessing over every single one of you. Save not one, Democrat, Republican, I don't affiliate with any of that. God bless every last one of you and your families, yes. The midterms are going to come out the way that the Lord God of this universe, whom I serve, wants them to come out. And that will be favorable for you, the Democrat or the Republican on the other side of the screen, because you're not going to fight God, you're going to support God and what God is doing, the move that God is doing. That's what I'm asking you to do. That's what I'm asking you to have the courage to do. I'm Trey Smith. God bless every last one of you. You get up and vote. You get up and vote. Even if you're a Democrat, you go out there and through gritted teeth, you take a shot on God this time. Don't take a shot against him. Don't do that. I'm Trey Smith. God bless every last one of you and your families on the other side of the screen.
Until you came, I was living like a fire. Never heard of the sun and the sky. What I was missing.
Okay, so now on this, I was a little, I'll be very frank with you, and I wanted to pop this in at the end of this video, whatever video this is. You've seen Mike Hughes over the years in my videos. Tell me kind of.
Yeah, and a nickname called Rocket Man because I had a, and it wasn't literally a rocket, it's paramotoring.
It's called Rocket Man. And no, this is not the flat earth Mike Hughes that put himself in a rocket, but I do find that coincidental. He's got this stuff called Rocket Man. And this stuff here was, well, as many of you that watch videos like Entities, you know that Mike hit a pyramid. Well, he's a rocket man. He was nicknamed that.
So one time I'm in Central America and I flew a little too low in too windy of conditions and the wind caught me and I slammed through the top of a tree into the side of a pyramid and slid down the pyramid and shattered this leg in 7 places. Yeah. So it took about 2 years, 2.5 years to recover, and where you can, because they literally had to assemble my leg back together and bolt them together with kind of skewers going all through, with 3 sets of rings and this whole
3 sets of rings, and it took 7 years.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
The leg was twisted and contorted beyond belief. Doctors said he probably would never walk again. He'd be in a wheelchair the rest of his life. 7 pins, 8 hours worth of surgery. It looks pretty over for Mike.
And I can't tell any difference. So wouldn't it be great if we could have a device that could tell me exactly, to even a fraction of a degree, how much more motion and speed of motion I have? So I invented this little disc.
And Mike was out enjoying things, because when you walk through like an automotive, Mike sometimes crashes on my couch, man. He leaves his ranch, comes out here. I don't even know how a common person would get in touch with me. You walk through an automotive store, Mike would be like, oh, I made that. Oh, I remember making a whole line of those. Oh, yeah, you right there. I remember making you were a pain, sucker.
And of course, that was motion science. Well, later, that turned out to be a device that people use in animation films and cartoons and a whole lot of things. And I actually also used it in a braking system for cars and trucks.
You walk through a car lot and be like, oh yeah, I made that adapter. I made a lot of money through U-Haul. The Lord blessed him. He's an inventor. In fact, one of the first things he invented, he was mad at a little police department that wrote him a traffic ticket when he was just a kid. He didn't want his mom and dad to know about it. And then he lost in the court battle, because he actually ended up arguing better than the cop and all this, but the court's got to prove they're in charge, so they're like, you're guilty anyway. Well, so what Mike did in response to this was develop the device that would later become illegal, that would prevent the cop from ever knowing what your speed was. Only it would somehow emit something that I don't know how it works, but it would keep them from ever knowing your speed, just because he was upset. The motion science stuff you were developing and working on with the disc, was this before they were doing it in Hollywood movies?
Yes. The device had never been created before. It was a brand new technology, and even the application you're using for animation or things in movies hadn't been even thought of yet. So it was pretty cool to have it, that product that early in the game.
Then he ended up making all sorts of automotive connectors, and in fact, with his leg thing that was broke, it wasn't the muscles in the body. Now we're going to get to what this Rocket Man stuff does. It's more than a natural. In my view, it's probably about the magic. I use it myself. In fact, my dad has got heart trouble, and he's having this. I got another friend of mine that just went through a bypass. Was very good friend of mine. Very good friend of mine. Man that prays over these videos. The Lord put this stuff in my hand. And also, I want to get married soon, so I'm looking for, I got a bunch of this stocked up. I'll tell you about the side of this. Wow, I was like, Mike, dude, I do Christian videos, man. I can't.
People that have MS have a terrific mind and even a terrific body, but there's a problem with the connection of communication between their mind and their body. And what happens over time is they gradually lose the ability to command the movement of their bodies.
I didn't want to talk about this, but I'm going to, because I believe the Lord gave it to Mike. Here's what made Mike's getting back on the screen.
And periodically they'll have this thing come upon them where it's believed the MS is attacking them right then, their nervous system, and chipping away at their ability to control their body. And once they're out of that funk, they're a little worse off. And you give it enough episodes over a period of time, and they gradually lose the ability to communicate with their body and even move where they can't move anymore, and their muscles get atrophy.
Mike's body didn't work, and he's an inventor. And so here's an inventor that made all these parts for automotive stores, and mechanical things gone wrong, and now his own body doesn't work because the Rocket Man had hit a pyramid going too close because he got too daring. And now his body doesn't work. And everything worked out, but your body doesn't work. Ain't that bad?
Were actually men that had multiple sclerosis. And we found something pretty amazing. First, our test subjects were saying that it was stopping the onset of some of their episodes. That's pretty exciting. That alone would be a great accomplishment, but it turned out they all had a side effect.
Well, the Lord began leading Mike on how he was going to make his own body work, because it wasn't the muscles or the bones or the pins in there. These things were all fine. It's the ability of the mind to talk to his legs down here now. As it turned out, it talks to all the parts.
So while we were doing the tests with these guys, the amount of doses they would take started kind of growing, weekly. All the men in the test study had a side effect that made them want to take more of the Rocket Man just for the side effect. Yes, it would help, and it actually did help men that had multiple sclerosis or MS to stay off some of these episodes. But because they started taking more doses, we started asking, what's happening? Why are you taking more? I mean, are you having more episodes and you're trying to avoid them? Well, it turned out that, well, let's talk about your body for a second.
Rick Derringer, when I was out there at Sodom and Gomorrah, he starts talking to Mike on the phone because Mike used to support all of these, like Ron Wyatt stuff and things as a hidden secret. He'll say, well, we had lots of funders. Yeah, that really meant Mike. Even Joe Rogan, one more thing, even Joe Rogan, who was real popular on the internet now, I found this interesting, that he was dogging on Noah's Ark.
You sit him down, hey Bobby! Once upon a time, God was mad at all the people in the world. Instead of telling them what they were doing wrong and offering guidance, he decided to go ahead and drown everyone. Only told one man. Just a random man picked him out of the crowd. He wasn't a special guy. In fact, he was 600 years old and a drunk.
But Mike Hughes came in and was real cordial with him because Mike had been funding stuff like that while other guys were laughing at it. I think the Lord saw that.
I want to see pictures of a fucking ark video. He's working on the archaeologist team that fucking digging up the ark.
He's been that guy in here. Yes, are you kidding me?
I read him.
This is wonderful.
You're not going to believe this. Michael Hughes with Wyatt Archaeology. I'm not going to say we actually found the ark, but I can tell you what we found. First of all, I'm a documenter. If somebody claims they've made an incredible discovery, our company actually checks it out. Says, okay, what do you have? What tests have you done? And then checks it out. So let's say you found a sword or something from Solomon. Okay. And you spent your life looking for it. Well, just because you just dug it up last week doesn't mean anybody's going to believe that. Right. So an archaeologist will actually look for a documenter that'll, check it out and say, okay. And we actually fund expeditions to back up what somebody claims. I'm going to tell you, the shots I'll show you will kind of blow your mind.
Because that was something Mike did, was supported things that the Lord made, and I believe that's why the Lord blessed Mike.
Yeah, could have retired many years ago, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so why make these?
Retirement.
why make these?
Well, again, it's it's sort of like some of these discoverers that we've met, like the Wyatts and the Richard Reeves and his family and all this. They get this drive that's important to them, and it just becomes something that it's more than making a living, or it's more than a career. It's something that they're just driven for, and that's where we are.
You lose more control of your body until eventually you're in a wheelchair. Mike wanted to figure out a way to stop that, and if the stuff he had or different versions of it could do that. And it turned out it looked like they were recovering, which would be a significant discovery in and of itself, save for the fact that the wives start calling up frantically, saying, oh no, we need some more of it. Send more boxes a day, you got extra strength.
Please, right now, you're not allowing us privacy that we need because of Rocket Man. Rocket Man has saved our, lives.
Okay, but seriously, but this stuff here, Viagra, you guys have tried Viagra.
Yeah, but we never did it more than once because it just didn't do anything great.
Well, like for me and my family, I'm going to have my dad take this. No, don't you have a dirty mind about it. Okay, so like if you have Viagra, for example, was first developed by inventors because they were working with heart medications, right? So there's two ways to get, like if you don't have a dirty mind, if you've got something pumping and you've got a valve that's shut off, okay, and that's just one part of the problem, by the way, but if you've got a heart issue or blood to flow, there's only two ways you can do that. One is to get this pumping harder, which is probably not good for it, right? And that's probably what Viagra or something does chemically. And this is natural stuff. This stuff, he follows all of the Levitical rules. He's like a hardcore Hebrew roots guy. And that's why his stuff, like everything he develops is after God's design. All the free energy stuff, in fact, the only free energy street, as I understand it, in the world held in Austin, Texas, which took 10 years of fighting him to let him put in. They fight the crap out of people doing free energy stuff. Mike's out there pouring money into it to make sure that you've got a free energy street, just because that's what you're into. Anyway, there's two ways to get something to do it. One is to pump more blood through, work extra hard. The other way is to release. So this can work more naturally, more normally, more like it should. And your body wouldn't fight against it, correct? I mean, that would be true, right? I'm going to be taking it myself. And there's a reason the pill is separated from the liquid. I don't even know what that is. Mike's technically, you can go check with Mike and find out all those weird technical reasons. You're off the blog. But the bottom line is that I want my father's heart to keep working. There's a lot of people out there, myself included, that would like to maximize what everything that God gave us in this place. So I, for one, would be I got quite a bit of this. Rocket Man by Mike Hughes. And to be honest with you, anything that Mike has, I always believed that the Lord gave it to him, whether it be a PowerPoint thing or whatever.
Does it work? Yes. Does it work? It works. A rock star's opinion, it works? It works. Rocket Man works like a rock star?
Yeah.
All right.
It works better than any of the other.
Jen, tell the truth. Does it work?
Yeah, we're ready to
This is a groundbreaking product that the future has not seen yet.
Yeah, something happens over time when a man gets older, and nobody knows why. Is it about diet? Is it about our environment? Is it about things that are in our environment that are battling against us? We don't know. But whatever the cause is, when men get older, their body starts having a problem hearing their mind.
I saw even Rick and Jenda when I went to a couple of the rock shows. I realized, like, Rick would be like, "Hey man, cut the stuff." And this was when the bottles were in development and all that. And then other people, like hardcore Baptists and stuff, I wouldn't dare. That stuff really do what it says. You end up pretty soon Mike's shipping this to everybody. They use it at clinics for other different battery purposes. How Mike walked the cameras with this.
So we're coming into where they're protesting Trump. And by the way, I'd just like to point out these actually come from Israel. It's a coin with Trump's face on it. Well, let me get past this dump truck.
This thing that I'm holding right here in my hand, it's got Donald Trump's face on it. This is a Trump Cyrus coin. And the Cyrus that is used on that coin, this is an actual coin from Israel. And this coin is authorized and through the Sanhedrin of Israel. You know what that means, you know the importance of that. On the back of that coin is the third temple. And it's just speculation at this point. If you know what any of that means, you know that this probably becomes extraordinarily valuable at the point that temple is there. This is a real coin. This is a half shekel coin that will be usable at the temple. As I understand, that's as far as I know, I'm one of the people they've actually cut a deal with. If you're supporting God in a nutshell, you're supporting Israel. Playing, in my view, a role in prophecy by owning one of these. It's real, and you could say it's a third temple coin from Israel, a half shekel with Donald Trump's face on the front. It's made by the book, by Levitical law. The coin is.
So we're here. We're in the protesting area where there's just a lot of angry people. And the lines to get in go clear around the stadium and back several times. And I'm out here, I'm actually holding a Trump Cyrus coin in my hand, the third temple on it.
And we ship these out. Now these actually come from and are printed in Israel.
This is Paul Lear that I've got on the screen with me. Paul he covers world events, he covers the rapture in a degree. He's got a book on the rapture. Covers the seven church, and whether you agree with the rapture or don't agree with the rapture, Paul's book will definitely fascinate you. But more than that, he's one of the most competent writers on the
everything going on in Israel and in the Middle East, he's got his thumb on the heartbeat of that. Paul, would that be a fair statement?
You're being very kind. I'd like to follow it. I find it interesting.
Best guess on this, you're moving towards, so they just had birth in Israel, the 10th red heifer. The 10th one in history.
This would be the 10th, yeah, and according, now this is an oral tradition. This is not anything you're going to see in the Bible, but according to oral traditions that have been passed down, that historically there will only be 10 red heifers ever. We've had 9. The first, Moses had the first one, I believe, coming off of Mount Sinai.
Now, Israel has been in some instances trying to, and they're still following all the Levitical laws, but they've had 9 red heifers in history. The 10th, from a prophetic perspective, and I got the Aleph back there, the bull with the horns, number 1, the 3 and 1, God is 3 and 1. The first, the Aleph starts everything, it's a silent letter. That's the bet right there. It's a symbol for home. Watch the God Dimension video. I've got, if you have not seen the God Dimension, go get a copy of that. Now, just do it.
There have been 9. This would be number 10 and the last. And then I guess if you go back to, his name is Maimonides, the most renowned Jewish scholar, known also by the acronym Rambam, wrote in explanation of the law that the 10th red heifer will be accomplished by the King, the Messiah, may he be revealed speedily. Now this was written, holy cow, 1,000 years ago or so. So I mean, they've been looking for this 10th red heifer. It's been at least 2,000 years since the 9th red heifer, and that's per Rabbi Chaim Reitman, and he is the international director of the Temple Institute.
Best guess, the setup for that third temple comes through the president that you've got in office right now. He not only supports Israel, but he kind of takes pride in making 5-star stuff and buildings and these kind of things. I would imagine as a legacy thing.
It's a pure red heifer, and it's the ashes of the sacrifice of the red heifer are necessary for the purification of the building of the third temple. So in other words, we're not having a temple until we have a pure red heifer to be sacrificed. So the fact that you're talking about it is pretty interesting.
There's no argument of this for any of those prophetic things. I don't care if you're in Islam, you need them to get that temple back, guys. You just do. You just do. Now, everybody can disagree what happens later, but you need them to get that. This is the way that I'm reading. It looks that way. The Christians, here again, man, they'll go nail and teeth over each other. You need to, I mean, there's no way to read the book without getting that. There's just not.
So they're going to watch this little cow like nobody's business, and I think they're looking to inspect it again in 3 to 4 months. Now, they've had some that they think maybe have qualified, but 3 to 4 months later, they've developed some imperfections.
Here's what a fistful of God Then I Shall DVDs looks like right there. I want to run these sort of past you. Look at that. Look at that. And they're not only, they're beautiful, they are the baddest dogs on the block on any coffee table. And the 2-part set will ultimately be a 3-part set. It was like those number 3s. But we've been doing a study on Enoch. The first part is called Mount Hermon. This will all be released within, I don't know what time you're watching this tape you're looking at right now, but might even be up when you're watching this. But we're going to have a setup as the most, not only the most beautiful that I've ever done, but the Lord really flowed, particularly in the first part will knock your socks off. But the second part of it, which is called Lord of Spirits, that's how God himself is referred to very, very often. See the hay back there, the number of grace, that's the AGN. That's how God is often very referred to in the book of Enoch. We're also going to be looking at angels that are appearing all around the globe. Some of the angels, look, they're not like your common paintings. These can be black, they can be white, they can be American Indian, they can be with women, they can be, I'm telling you, the supernatural is as close as the air between your fingertips. And I really felt like the Lord moved through this new thing. But I want to thank every one of you that's gotten sets of these. I also want to say thank you to those of you to get to these new videos that are coming out. The way to get them to them the fastest and to them right now before they're even orderable. Now, I don't know what's up yet, okay? But there is stuff up there in the subscriber section. But go over to God in a Nutshell and subscribe. We're doing better and better getting stuff up there on a more consistent basis. here's the deal, guys. A lot of people are fake. Not all of it. Like with the God in a Nutshell stuff, I don't just deliver things for it to be junk or crap. Put things up in there when they're right. We're getting a little faster at that because I've got help now. But it still has to be stuff that I know that if I when I look at it myself, I'm like, the Lord would have me look at it. Even if sometimes it's a little bit crazier out there, funny or whatever, but and you're supporting us by being a partner. You're actually helping these happen. I want to thank every last one of you families that have come over and become partners with God Bless You. I'm Trey Smith. God bless every last one of you and your families on the other side of the screen.